Homeschooling with Heart. My name is Steph, and I am so glad that you have joined me today. All right, today I am going to talk about Remington's second grade language arts program. What did we change? What's staying the same? And what did we bring in? So, yeah, if you are interested in that, if you want to know more, meet me on the other side of this YouTube second. Remi's language arts is also reading. So we do language arts and reading together in one program. There are other things that I pile in his language arts because he learns a little bit differently in language arts than he does in math, than he does in science, so he learns different ways in different subjects. And we are more of kind of eclectic homeschoolers, okay? Because, we have this curriculum for this, we have this curriculum for this, and we have this curriculum for this. And because we are still learning together of how he learns best, I expose him to kind of a variety of different things. So when you see his language arts and reading basket, just know that, it may look like a lot, but this isn't all going to be introduced to him on the first day, okay? That I am bringing back this year that we didn't really finish up last year, but he enjoys. I am bringing back favorite poems of childhood. We read our first poem out of this book, and he had a love for poetry right then and there. So I am bringing this back because we did not finish this book, and I want to put a little smile on his face. So I do want to finish this up this year. The other thing that I am bringing back for poetry is The Llama Who Had No Pajama. He really enjoyed this last year, and we did not get a chance to finish this up. But these two books right here, he did put in his favorite books last year when we were wrapping up. He did put in his favorite book pile. So I'm bringing these back so that we can finish those up for the year. I'm bringing in Days Like This. And this is more of kind of nature poems. And I really do think that Remi is going to like this. This poem here is on my little guitar. On my little guitar with only one string, I play in the moonlight and any old thing. Nature scenes and nature poetry. So I think he's really going to enjoy that this year. Also, not right off the bat, but I am going to expose him to Poetry for Young People, Robert Frost, and I just want to see how he reacts and how he responds to a little bit deeper, poetry. So yeah, I'm going to kind of bring this in just a little bit this year and see how he responds to it. All right, so the next thing that I am bringing back for this year is Explode the Code. He absolutely loved Explode the Code last year, and I think that it really did help with that extra phonics practice that he needed. He completed books C1 and 1.5 last year, so I am bringing in book 2, book 2.5, and if we get to it, book 3. But yeah, he really enjoyed these, so they're coming back in the classroom this year. He really enjoyed dictating stories and dictating poems last year. Wonder why? Because I was doing all the writing. So anyway, though, I'm gonna bring in Once Upon a Pancake, and this looks pretty cool. It looks like I haven't read through a lot of it yet, but it does look like he is going to finish the story, or it gives him a prompt, a writing prompt. It's the story, and then it'll ask a question: does Lucas get up from his cloud? And then that will be for Remington to decide. So yeah, I'm going to see how this goes. And we'll introduce this, a little bit into our second grade year. His second grade reading and language arts program. We are bringing back learning language arts through literature, and I'm excited to be bringing this back this year. He really enjoyed his language arts program last year. If you saw my Let's Chat video, that's about the only time that I got him, hey, sit still, let's do this. But with this year, with him really, craving that, craving that learning, he is teaching himself. And that is my main goal in our homeschool, is for him to learn, right? For him to figure out, for him to teach himself. And he is kind of teaching himself reading. He is teaching himself different things. And I've just been amazed, when it is true, at least in our case, that when he is just kind of left to decide and wonder, then he does come back with, okay, maybe I want to know this, and maybe I want to know that. And that has been an awesome thing to see. It has helped me kind of try to put that public school mentality, at the back. And I know it's always going to be there, but trying to keep this is his education, at the front. This is not my education. This is his education. And my job is to expose him to the world around him, right? Age appropriately, okay? And learning language arts through literature gives us the time to do that. It gives us the additional time that we need in order to explore different things, in order to add on different things. And he does have a few books of the blue book to finish up, but then we will go right into the red book. And if you don't know, if you're not familiar with learning language arts through literature, this has phonics, reading, spelling, grammar, vocabulary, handwriting, higher order thinking skills. And this is the teacher's book. It does give you the lesson for the day, but it doesn't mean that you can't, once you get your flow, that you can't go off. But it is, I really didn't find myself deviating that much, except for when I knew that, he had something kind of covered. Then we would, kind of skip on, or I would go to the assessment, because they do have assessments here. I would go to the assessment and go, okay, he's passed, so let's just go on to the next lesson, but that's one of the things that I like about this too, is that I can assess where he is, because this is really a very important part of what I am teaching him: reading, writing, phonics, handwriting, higher order reasoning, vocabulary. So that is why I really enjoy this. He enjoys it because of all of the, oh my, this thing is heavy this year. He enjoys it because he does have activities that he gets to do throughout the course. My goodness gracious, this is a lot of activities. Yeah, I just kind of just opened this right before I did this video. I was going to unbox it in front of y'all, but I just kind of wanted to peek at it before, before I kind of started talking about it. But yeah, this is a larger book this year, and it looks like we are going to be reading chapter books. And so, what he will be doing is our lessons last year were always attached to a reader. So each week he would have a reader. It looks like in this year he's going to have a chapter for a lesson. So each week he will have a chapter until he has completed his chapter book. I'm excited for this because these look and feel like real chapter books, and that is going to, I think, really motivate him in his reading. But anyway, he will go and we will cut this out, and we will have a sheet, on our bulletin board, and he will cut these out and paste them to I'm sorry, I'm going to paste. Yeah, he made me feel so old because I told him, I said, okay, babe, cut this out and paste it to your sheet. And he cut it out, and he was just kind of looking around. And I was like, babe, cut it out and paste it. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. I was like, okay, what part of cut it out and paste it don't you understand? He was like, I don't understand paste. I was like, what do you mean you don't understand paste? He said, I don't know what paste is. And I'm like, you didn't learn what paste was in kindergarten? He's like, no, Mimi, I don't know what paste is. I was like, oh my goodness gracious, I felt so old. And I swear, if one of y'all tell me you just found out what paste is today, don't you tell me that down in the comments down there. But anyway, he will be cutting this out, taking a glue stick and gluing it to his, chart, showing his performance, showing how many chapters he's gone through, and then he will get to glue his chapter book on his reading chart as well. So that's just kind of a little incentive, for them to do. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 chapter books this year, and I am very, very excited. And then the other thing that I am bringing in is also a Unschooling journal. I am so excited about this. Okay, so now that you guys know that I am really trying to teach him critical thinking, teaching him to learn, right? We are going to be doing writing and research workbook, 100 activities. We'll be doing memorization, and he will memorize a poem, and then he will have to fill in the blank. Okay, and this is all on different occupations: astronaut, doctor, dancer, a scientist, artist. So this is going to be pretty darn neat. I am excited to bring this into our classroom. I love the Fun Schooling journals, and Remington does too. And I'm going to try and put this right after his calendar time. I'm going to try. But this isn't something that we will be doing every day, but we will be doing this a few days a week, and I'm excited about it. And again, if you guys want to flip through of any of this, just let me know. I am adding it in our school day. This program, this curriculum changed our homeschool last year. And so I am definitely bringing it back this year. So 5 in a row, Volume 1. Yes, we're going to be finishing this one up. And actually, I couldn't decide if I wanted Volume 2 or Volume 3. Volume 2, we had a lot of the books that went with Volume 2. But Volume 3 looked like, oh man, he would really be interested in some of these subjects, right? So, of course, I got them both. And I will say that Volume 2 is a lot heavier than Volume 3. And what I plan on doing is just putting the story discs up on the magnetic board, or maybe the bulletin board, and just kind of have him choose throughout, here. 5 in a row can actually be a curriculum on its own, and I do have a playlist of 5 in a row, and if you want to check that out, please feel free to do that. Be great if you did. Yeah. We really enjoyed 5 in a row, and the second edition, from what I understand, is a lot different from the first edition that they put out. And yeah, this one is where he kind of gets to lead after we do the story. Do some suggestions that they have in here: social studies, even some language arts, even some math that's in this curriculum. But for the most part, we start going on our little rabbit trails, right? And he learns so much just going through 5. Really kind of wraps up our language arts for 2nd grade. And I am very, very excited. It's kind of bittersweet. He's getting older, and, but, I'm just excited that we are going to give this another try for 2nd grade, that he wants to be homeschooled. And, I kind of have my bearings, and hopefully it doesn't change. But, like I said before, I'm not going in too confident, but I am getting excited. I'm getting excited for him, and I'm getting excited for our homes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked any of this video, please leave us a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you enjoyed our content, and it also lets us know that somebody out there likes our content. Feel free to comment, especially if you want to see a flip through of any of these items that I have shown you today. I will be glad to do it. They will also be listed at the bottom. So if you want to check them out on Amazon or on their websites, feel free to do so. I do want to say 5 in a row, if you are interested in checking them out, they do have like a try before you buy, and that's kind of what we did. We did a unit study because he was finding my unit studies boring, so we did a unit study before we purchased 5 in a row. But actually, it was just the best thing that we did. So anyway, just kind of wanted to throw that in there, and that will be listed at the bottom as well. Thank you for watching. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you to our subscribers. You know how much you mean to us. Until we meet again, be good to each other. Bye-bye.